tea is really hot, by the way, if anyone's wondering. That's why I'm making this face, because it's kind of painful to drink it. Ow. All right, game time, Tommy. This time in the gaming zoo, we're going to check out AITA. And in the what are we in, California? In the Reddit community, AITA stands for Am I the A-hole? AITA for kicking out my sister for her emo outfit and telling her she can go to the funeral when she wears respectable clothes. So this original poster here, OP, she wants to know if she was out of line, is the question. Last weekend was my dad's funeral. I planned it since my mom has been a wreck. You can tell she's been a wreck because she spelled wreck wrong. Usually it's spelled with a W first. My mom and my sister are not close. I am also not close to her, and I think she is a not so fun person to be around. So I am probably biased. My sister dresses in the emo style. So skulls, collars, lots of black and reds, heavy makeup, and so on. I truly don't care most of the time. So she says she truly does not care most of the time, which means she cares some of the time, even when it's not a funeral. I truly don't care most of the time. She can wear what she wants. This is a issue at important events. My wedding, she did this even after she agreed to tone it down. She is always going full out with her outfits. I don't understand why she won't ever tone it down. For the funeral, she came in wearing a short skirt, band t-shirt, heavy makeup, fishnets, and jewelry, collar thing, and skulls. I was very upset that she couldn't dress appropriately for a funeral, and I told her to leave. She got pissed and told her go home and put on a respectable outfit. She stayed until my mom told her to get the heck out since she can't dress appropriately. So two of you felt that way. So you might not be the only one asking this question. AITA. She left and didn't come back. A lot of people who say her outfit. Sorry, geez. I did read it right. She wrote it improperly. She must be still really angry about this because she's misspelling words left and right here and not really making a lot of sense. A lot of people who saw her outfit agree she was out of line for a funeral. My sister has been calling me a jerk, and some people are saying I went too far. Pretty sure it's 2 O's for the two, but that's okay. That's okay. She's a wreck. I get it. I totally get that. So what do you think? AITA. Is she the a-hole for telling her, presumably younger sister, that she was not dressed appropriately for a wedding or a funeral, actually, for that matter? I feel like, oh gosh, that's a good question. Honestly, yes, you are the a-hole for telling your sister to go home and dress the way you think. Because at what point, what's respectable to you? What if she does do what she thinks you want her to do? She comes back and you're still not satisfied. So again, at what point, like where, maybe in the last, I don't know, decade, you could have helped her choose some clothes, maybe went shopping with her, had a fun dress montage with her, had choose fun clothes and have maybe some fun with her about it. But instead, it seems like you've just been kind of dogging her, distancing yourself even more every single time you see her because you don't get it and you don't understand. So you just sound like a really, I don't want to say entitled. I get where you're coming from, but who cares? She showed up to your father's funeral, not out of spite, not to be indicative. She showed up to her father's funeral. She wasn't naked. She wasn't being necessarily inappropriate. Like, she was still able to walk down the road without the police getting involved. She wasn't doing anything illegal in that sense. So yes, you are the a-hole for kicking your sister out of your dad's funeral for not dressing appropriately. Because again, what do you think is appropriate? To what end? How did you dress? What did you look like? Could you have maybe gone home and dressed up a little bit more? Where were your pearl earrings and necklace? I think there's a time and place for everything, and being really choosy about what people wear at your dad's funeral is a really odd thing to be worried about. during that specific time. Absolutely, you are the a-hole. Let's read some of the comments. NTA, a miniskirt and fishnets is not even in the realm of appropriate for a funeral. It would be much different if she had worn a black dress with some jewelry in her style, but at 26, she should know that this was tone deaf at best and attention seeking at worst. So here's the thing though, how do you know what else does she own? Maybe that's literally all she owns. She might not own a black dress, or at least that's appropriate for that setting. I don't agree with that poster. Right? Question mark. From the way OP described her, I figured she must be a teenager, and this still wouldn't be okay for a teenager to do, but I'm willing to give more leeway to someone who's young and still figuring things out. A 26-year-old should know better. Either you drop the emo thing entirely for important events and just wear something conventional, get creative and find ways to express yourself in ways that are tasteful and subtle, while still following the guidelines of the events. And they're not wrong. I completely agree with that, but at the same time, get over it. There's clearly more important things going on, and this is just background noise. What you wear to a funeral, unless it's like really showy and really inappropriate, there's way more important things during that time than to worry about what somebody's wearing. If it's revealing, yeah, then that's different, but that's not what the issue was. The issue was that it was emo. Yeah, man. Okay, this one looks really interesting. Wow. I was in a relationship with my girlfriend for 4 years. We really loved each other. My family loved her. Her family loved me. We had discussions of marriage. We had plans for the future, how many kids we wanted. My girlfriend was always extremely excited about it. Over the last few months, I was giving her consistent hints that I was going to propose to her. And last weekend, I booked a nice resort where I would plan to propose to her at a private place. Well, when I did propose to her, she somehow seemed shocked about it and asked if she could have a few more months. That just completely stunned me and was one of the most heartbreaking moments of my life. My girlfriend kept apologizing, saying she just needed to be in the right mental space, and that right then, she wasn't. She cried and promised that we were technically engaged. She just needed a few more months to officially accept the proposal. I felt empty, sad, embarrassed. I felt horrible. When we returned back to our apartment, she apologized a lot, and there was also a lot of crying. The whole situation for me was so heartbreaking and embarrassing that I could not talk about it with any of my friends or even my parents. I could only consult my siblings. You're weird, my dude. My siblings had completely contrasting opinions. My brother told me maybe she got cold feet, and a lot of people get cold feet, and to just give her time because she seemed like a genuine person. Yeah, that's pretty good advice. However, my sister told me my girlfriend did was girl code for cheating, and that my girlfriend was probably ashamed about accepting about my proposal. Your sister is an awful person. Given that she most likely was having an affair, my sister told me that my girlfriend would probably call off the affair in the next couple of months, after which she would be comfortable accepting the proposal. Completely contrasting opinions, but I sided with my sister because my brother gets a bit naive at times. Yeah, your brother gets a bit naive sometimes. The more I thought about it, the more what my sister said made logical sense. And that just shattered my heart even more. So a couple of days ago, after my girlfriend came home from work, I told her we were done and that she had a couple of hours to pack up and leave. 4-year relationship. Hey, by the way, she comes home after work. Hey, we're done. Nope, no more. I gave her no heads up about it. I gave no reason. She was shocked and talking a lot, asking why. But at this point, I just didn't trust her anymore. She obviously cried, but I was over it. A couple hours later, her friend came to pick her up, and I blocked her number so I didn't get any more texts. I am still suffering a lot, and it will take a lot of time to heal through this. Am I the a-hole? My dude, you're not just the a-hole. You're just an idiot. You are stupid. You went through all that without even asking, or even like asking a single question to your significant other, your 4-year-old relationship. You didn't want to ask her a single question, like maybe, did you cheat on me? Or like, Or just give her some time, my dude. Like, it's been 4 years. Holy crap. That's one way to talk yourself out of a 4 year relationship. Wow. She just wanted, I honestly think she just wanted some time. She was like just given this option, and now she's like, okay, well, maybe I don't want this, but I mean, it's been 4 years. I think you need to give some people some time. Asking for time no, isn't saying no. Asking for time is asking for time. It's a maybe. It's not even a maybe. It's literally just asking for more time. I don't know the answer yet. Give me more time so I can think about it and give you a better answer. I could give you an answer right now and you ain't going to like it, but it won't be the right answer. It won't be an accurate answer. So I think she was just asking for more time. You know how I know? Because she literally just asked for more time. Your brother, maybe not so naive, but your brother seemed like the smarter one of the three. Should have asked your parents. Why could you go consult with your siblings? I couldn't tell my friends or my parents. But I did tell my siblings. I did talk to them about it. It was no big deal. They gave me two different polarizing opinions, and those are the only two people I asked. Because I just couldn't talk to my friends about it or my parents. No, but my brother and sister, they gave me pretty good advice. So I'm going to read the comments now, some of the comments. It wasn't the I pondered for a few moments, then just said, F it, and believed every word my sister said about the hypothetical situation involving my girlfriend hypothetically cheating on me. So I packed up our 4 year almost married relationship and kicked that maybe cheating B word to the curb with no warning. Now she's upset. Did I do something wrong, Reddit? That's literally, yeah. That's the TDLR on that one. I don't know. I had a ex-boyfriend who consulted his sister for relationship advice, and you know what she told him to do? Get on dating sites and see how it feels talking to other girls to see if he really liked me. Excuse me? Let's just say he got caught. Neither of them saw anything wrong with what he did, and the last I heard, she's going on her second divorce. Some sisters give crap advice. Ooh, this one looks saucy. Am I the a-hole for refusing to sleep on a single mattress on the floor and leaving two friends in an uncomfortable situation? This ought to be good. My group of friends and I decided to travel during Easter week. In total, we are 7 people, 3 couples, and me. When we considered this trip 3 months before, a couple, Logan and James, both 30-ish, said they wouldn't go. So we looked for a house with 3 bedrooms and not 4, as usual. I have no problems with them, by the way. With 3 weeks left until the trip, they said they would like to go. We even tried looking for other houses, but the good ones were already occupied and the rest were bad, as you would expect. We told them that it only has 3 rooms, but it is possible to go with 7 people. I checked with the host and they said that 8 people can sleep in the house. It would be a 4-day trip. When we arrived at the house, there were 3 bedrooms as expected, a single mattress and a sofa. We were deciding who would sleep where, and when I saw that James and Logan would have a room, I made it very clear that I would sleep in a room with a bed, not on the floor. They started saying that they were a couple and they didn't have a double mattress for them, so I was being irrational and wanting to have a double bed when I don't need. Okay, I could see their point, but that's a very dumb point. I didn't take the road for 6 hours to sleep, wake up with back pain, and I paid to have a room. But that one of them is welcome to sleep with me in the bed. I don't care. They said they paid more than me, so they also have the right to a room. They didn't pay, they just paid for each one. I agreed, but they confirmed it was only 3 weeks before, so that's what they got, and I didn't want to sleep on the floor. In the end, I kept my ground, and James slept on the mattress and Logan on the couch. The trip was good, apart from some snide comment or other saying that I was being incoherent and that I could sleep on the mattress peacefully. The rest of us remained neutral, taking advantage of the discussion to entertain themselves. I don't think I was wrong here. They had the chance to have a room to themselves, but they refused and then went back. I may have paid less, but I paid for a room just like the other 2 couples, and if they arrived later, I don't think they necessarily should have had the double bed, aka room, to my disadvantage. No, you're not the a-hole at all. No, that's just like a couple trying to bully a single person. Oh, well, I mean, you don't need the double bed, we do. It's like, it's so, had they, and I have a feeling, had they all decided to go on the trip at the same time and they agreed about it and they couldn't find a house with 4 rooms. They could only find 3 rooms, like with 2 beds or like enough to accommodate 2 people, and only had. I have a feeling this original poster, they sound logical enough to be like, you know what, I'll sleep on the floor. It's no big deal. Because they had already all agreed upon, everyone's paying the same amount. But because because there's the stipulation here. So that's the stipulation. That's what I'm referring to. James and Logan, because they were like, oh, well, we don't want to come. And then 3 weeks later, like, oh, never mind, we are going to come. That gives them the disadvantage. They are the lower ones on the totem pole. I don't care that there are a couple and then there's 2 other couples getting the same treatment. You backed out. Now you're like guest, essentially, to this vacation. You're making it harder on everybody else. And they tried to accommodate. They tried to do what they could, and they even said, "Oh, you can come." They even explained it. So these kind of AITAs are really frustrating to me because they're like really obvious that the poster isn't the a-hole in this. And I feel bad because it's like I almost feel like you're being gaslit. You must have been gaslit at some point to even consider yourself being an a-hole in this situation. And there's so many of these situations in AITA that I'm going to find, I know it, on this series of people getting gaslit into thinking they're the a-hole when logically, yes, in most instances, this would have occurred, but because A happened, now B is going to occur. So that's just, original poster, you are not the a-hole. James and Logan, you're the a-hole. Arr, arr, arr. I was trying to do a chimpanzee there a second, and it turned it into a dog. Yeah, I don't even know where that chimp was coming out of. That was nothing. That didn't sound anything like a chimp. Arr, arr, arr. Let's read some comments on this one. That one's crazy. I don't like that one. All right, sweet. So there's three comments right in a row that are pretty much, they mirror exactly what I just said. When you all booked the house, the rooms were divided up. The late couple gets the leftovers. Yeah, I mean, it's plain and simple. That's how it works. They could have decided to go and get a 4th room from the start, but since they changed their minds, the lack of planning better is on them. It doesn't matter how the pay came out, because they still came in late. A lack of planning on their part doesn't mean any emergency or lack of comfort on your part. Exactly. Yeah. And then the second comment, 100% agree in TA. They don't need to be wishy-washy during the planning stage, then change their minds basically last minute and expect the better accommodation. I'm sensing just a little bit of entitlement, big time. I don't even know if that's a term, but it's like couple entitlement versus like the single person, like, oh, like we're going to split it. We should get, it's just like, don't bully me. I know how that is. I don't know how that's working. It's 2-on-1, but yeah, it's like, it's couple entitlement. I'll have to, I might have to coin that or see if there's any kind of a couple entitlement on Reddit. And then the last comment, it says, not shallow. They left, then came back. Despite your efforts, it was too late to change. Yeah, and see, that's the other thing, man. They did. They tried to look for better accommodations. And then they told you, hey, man, we can accommodate you, but like we can bring you here and you can be here, but not like in a bed. They even talked about it. It does not make you any less of a person just because you are single. They could have packed an air mattress. Oh, I didn't even think about that. That makes me even more angry. Logan, James, just bring an air mattress next time, bro. They could have packed an air mattress as a backup if they had truly wanted. It's absurd to think that just because they are a couple, they should have a bed. See, it's couple entitlement. Interesting. Am I the a-hole for calling out my sister for her facade of being poor during Easter dinner? My sister, female 27, is a medical student and always seems to use this as a get out of jail card every time she gets a chance. I am a man, 24, on the other hand, opted to go into sales straight out of high school despite my parents being against it. Over the years, she has asked for money on several occasions for emergency food and utilities from me, and since I was working and doing quite well for myself, I always made an effort to help her out. However, last year, I re-downloaded Instagram after a long hiatus and saw that she'd been posting photos in Greece, Czech, and Cyprus with her friends on various occasions. I didn't want to bother confronting her, but it felt she had been taking advantage of me, so anytime she asked for help after that, I just ignored her. Fast forward to yesterday, the whole family got together for Easter Sunday. We had a lovely meal, and for the most part, it was enjoyable. After that, we were hanging out in the garden, and my sister gets asked by my aunt how the studies are, and she goes on and about how difficult it is managing finances and that she's struggling. I tell her she's over-exaggerating, and she says, you wouldn't get it since you don't go to university. I told her she should stop taking advantage of the family's kindness and showed her the pictures, and in a pretty stern voice asked her, isn't this you enjoying holidays? Oh, you're struggling, right? Everyone except my brother comes to her defense and says what she posts of her life on social media is none of my business. I mean, it kind of is. You're putting it out there, and that I should stop being an a-hole. I enjoy the rest of the evening, but we are no longer talking, and the rest of the family kept trying to convince me I should make up with her. Am I the a-hole here? Yeah, I mean, there's a time and place for everything. You shouldn't have shamed your sister in front of everyone. Like, yeah, okay, maybe she's kind of like, being a bad person, kind of being entitled and using people. But she's also your sister, and you shouldn't, like, just because she's using you or, using her, oh, I don't have any money, doesn't mean you can shame her in front of everyone else. Maybe talk to her in private. So this is a two-parter. One, you are not an a-hole for saying something to her about her using her studies for being poor or her finances when she really probably isn't. She's doing just fine. She's just mooching from people. You're not the a-hole for saying something to her about it, but you are the a-hole for saying something to her about it in front of your entire family. So your family, you could have gotten a hold of her in a private setting where you guys could have hashed this out, but you decided to do it in front of everyone and be snarky about it. You know what I mean? So are you an a-hole for saying something to her? No. Are you an a-hole for saying something to her in front of everyone that you love? Yes. Let's see the comments here. You are not in denial of the truth and the facts that are publicly on display through her social media accounts. She clearly knows how to manipulate everyone in the family, but you are onto it now. Good for you. Hold firm, because she is never going to learn if you keep giving in to her. She obviously has an issue with spending and knows when she overspends. She can fall back on family to bail her out. The best thing you can do is just say no when she asks. It will do no good to call her out anymore. She knows you are onto her, but is arrogant because everyone else defended her. Just hold your own and keep saying no. She'll quit asking you, but will continue to suck the money out of anyone else she can, and will destroy relationships in the process. Sorry I have to go through this. You turned out to be the responsible sister, and hopefully one day she will get to the point where she'll have no choice but to follow your example. Yeah, and that's a good point, honestly. Just leave it alone. Don't bring it up anymore. Just ignore it. Your family, more important things will happen, and this won't even be an issue anymore. But you are an a-hole for bringing it up in front of the entire family, especially on Easter. Just do it in private. Am I the a-hole for not accepting an apology gift that seemed racist? Nope, not doing that one. Oh, this looks like a good one. We got to do this one. This is a long one. Am I the a-hole for saying my best friend settled for her husband because she was desperate? Sounds like it. I don't even have to read this whole thing to know that you probably were the a-hole. That just doesn't sound like something you say to somebody you like and appreciate. My BFF Mia and I, both 32, have known each other since we were 12, but only became close at university. We are different in many ways, like our views on marriage and kids. I never want to get married or have kids. Mia has her wedding plans since she was 10 and always told everyone that she'll be married by 27. Travel for a year before having her first kid by the time she turned 30. Mia always tells me I'll change my mind one day. She brings it up often, and it's annoying. I don't think you guys are friends. Doesn't sound like it. Backstory. In 2015, Mia reconnected with an old classmate on Facebook, Pete, from our home country, and they started dating long distance. 4 months later, she visited Pete and told everyone they were engaged. I asked her if she was sure, and she said they were in love and can't wait to be married so she can sponsor him and be together in the same country. I'm ashamed to say my first thought after she told me was that he was using her to get a green card. Their wedding was planned for summer 2016, but in early 2016, it was revealed Pete had been cheating with his ex, and she had DM'd Mia pics, screenshots of their text because she found out about the wedding and felt guilty. Mia confronted him, and they argued for hours, and with him admitting he was using her for a green card and would have divorced her later. Oh, good Lord, Mia. In 2018, Mia again reconnected with another classmate, Jay. So Mia, Jay, and Pete all went to primary school together, and Jay and Pete are friends, and Jay knows about what happened. Mia and Jay got married in our home country in late 2019, and I was her maid of honor. The immigration process got delayed because of COVID, but Mia and Jay were finally reunited in 2021. Yay! Months later, she announced she was pregnant and gave birth to a boy in February 2022. He was about 2 years old now. Everything was moving super fast, but Mia was happy to be a mom at 30. I'm happy for Mia. I recently started a new job that gives me a lot of freedom, so I decided I would solo travel. I have a close group of friends and we do a weekly girls' night. Mia gave birth again in October and haven't been able to join us, so last week she invited us to her house for dinner. During dinner, a friend asked me about my travel plans. At this point, only this friend knew. When the others found they were happy for me, Mia was quiet and seemed annoyed. One friend said she was envious of me and wishes she could do the same. Mia scoffed and said anyone could do it if they were irresponsible. It got whoa, Mia, hold on, I was on your side there for a moment. One friend said she was I gotta read that over again. Sorry. I was not expecting that from Mia. One friend said she was envious of me and wishes she could do the same. Mia scoffed and said anyone could do it if they were irresponsible. It got quiet, and I just stared at Mia. I asked her what she meant. I said I'm spending my own money, and I'll still be working, so how am I irresponsible? She said I haven't grown up yet and only wanted to have fun when I should be settling down. I told her I don't want to settle down, and just because I'm not married with kids doesn't mean I'm not a grown-up. She said my life is meaningless. So I said, at least I'm not desperate enough to fly to a different country and marry the first guy I saw. I think I'm the a-hole for basically throwing the whole Pete thing in her face, knowing how hurt she was. Yeah, okay. This is just very catty. Don't say those things to people. You said it. Girl, you said that because you knew it was going to hurt her feelings. You are an a-hole at that moment for doing that. You are definitely the a-hole for saying that to Mia. Mia also really had no reason to bring or say anything like that. Why couldn't she just be happy for you? That seems so odd to be into, I want to get married and I want to do this, and then after all these things occur, you're jealous of somebody who isn't living that life. Then why did you do those things? Why did you plan all those things? And Mia's giving off those a-hole vibes too. So she said an out-of-pocket thing. You then returned with another out-of-pocket thing to say to her. So what a mean thing to say. Well, at least I don't go to another country and just marry the first guy I see. That's not how it happened, and you know darn well that that's not how that happens. Don't be petty or you end up posting AITA questions on Reddit. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is so much fun. I love doing this. I watch this kind of content all the time. AITA or Choosy Beggars is also my favorite content. I'm going to do a Choosy Beggar next week, I believe. But if you have any other content you'd like for me to go over, I would love to. This is more like serious stuff, but I love going over funny stuff as well. So I want to put a puzzle together live as well. Wouldn't that be fun? 1,000-piece puzzle. Putting 1,000-piece puzzle live on air, unedited. It's pretty cool. It's a magical puzzle as well. I don't know what that means, but yeah. Well, this has been AITA, Am I the A-hole, on Reddit. I really enjoy doing this kind of content. I'm Tommy Game Time. I know I wasn't playing a game this time, but I do enjoy doing this kind of content. I love doing Choosy Beggars or AITA. If you have any kind of Reddit content you'd like me to go over, definitely send me a message, comment, like, subscribe. I appreciate all that kind of stuff. I'm just doing this because it's fun. I watch a lot of this kind of content, and so for me to make this content is a lot of fun as well. Hope everyone's having a good day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And we'll see you on the next one for sure. Thanks for tuning in.